Hello there, welcome to or welcome back to Trying to Care. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I post every single Monday, and I don't normally sound this fucked up. I'm just very sick. I've been sick since I got back from Orlando. Last week I was recording and I was just getting sick, and then after I recorded that night it hit me and I have just been down bad since. I genuinely haven't felt this sick since I had COVID in 2023, so I don't know what's good with me. I don't know if I have COVID or the flu or what's going on, but I am getting better. I do feel okay. I just am still congested, but the show must go on. I hope you and I can get through this episode with me sounding the way that I do. Maybe I don't sound as bad as I think I do, but I feel like I sound pretty bad. But anyways, today's episode, I want to give you a realistic guide to being confident, because so many people, including myself, will tell you that you don't have to actually be confident. You just have to fake it till you make it. Just pretend that you are, because no one besides you is going to know if you're actually confident. And I think that's a really good first step. I think if you want to be confident, the first step is to pretend like you are confident. But eventually you don't want to just fake it. You want to actually be it. You don't want to be second guessing yourself. You don't want to be struggling with whether you like yourself or not. You don't want to be questioning your value. You just want to be solid in who you are, and you want to like who you are. Because although it's great that you tricked everyone else into thinking that you're this confident person who has their shit together, if you're not actually that person and you aren't confident, you're going to still be struggling with self-doubt. You're going to be seeking approval from others. You're going to be struggling with comparison, and you're going to be struggling with imposter syndrome. I'm not going to lie. Faking confidence has gotten me pretty far in life. It has brought me incredible opportunities, but even with those opportunities, I wasn't able to actually enjoy the experiences because I wasn't actually confident. Like, even when I was succeeding, I still felt like I was failing, and I was doubting myself all along the way. I was thinking like, I don't belong here. People are going to see through me. People are going to realize that like I'm not deserving of these things, and they're going to see that I'm not as great as I'm pretending that I am, because I was acting as if I was this great person that's deserving of all these things, but I didn't truly believe that I was. Pretending to be confident helped me a lot in my life, but learning to actually be confident changed my life. So in today's episode, I want to give you a realistic guide on how to be confident, a guide that anyone can follow. So with that, anyone listening, anyone that follows this guide can become confident. No matter how insecure you are, and no matter how much you doubt yourself, you can become confident. And I'm going to tell you how right now. So let's get into it. Starting with number 1, believe it until you achieve it. This is the fake it till you make it that I was talking about, which is a good place to start. You just can't stop here. You need to follow through with the other steps. But the reason I think this is the best place to start is when you act as if you are, your brain starts to normalize the reality that you're aiming for, rather than constantly reminding yourself that you aren't that person or you don't have that thing yet. When you're so aware that you're lacking something, you're going to feel insecure, and you're going to have difficulty pursuing that thing because it feels so far away, it doesn't feel attainable. Whereas if you decide to show up as that version of you that is that person or has those things, even if you aren't that person now, it's not going to feel as unrealistic or unattainable. It's just going to become your everyday. It's going to become your norm. I use social media as an example a lot on this podcast just because I feel like it's an easy way to get my point across. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's pretend that you want to be a famous content creator. You want 1 million followers, but you have 5 followers, and you keep reminding yourself that you only have 5 followers and no one's watching your videos, and you think your dream of being this famous content creator is nearly impossible. When you think that way, you're going to have such a hard time showing up and creating the content, because all you're doing is doubting yourself and making yourself small. And that version of you that you want to be, the version of you that has 1 million followers, wouldn't feel that way about themselves. That version of you that has 1 million followers isn't going to be doubting themselves every time they post a video. They're going to feel confident when they're posting videos. And ultimately, why big content creators have success is because they're confident in the content they're putting out. More than likely, they didn't get to where they are now by doubting themselves or deleting their videos or saying that their content's bad and no one's gonna watch it. They believed in themselves and they showed up every step of the way. Instead of doubting yourself and reminding yourself that you only have 5 followers, show up as the version of you that has 1 million followers. what would that version of you be doing? Would they be posting once a week, or would they be posting 5 times a day? When you act as if you've reached your goal before you've already reached it, you become more comfortable and you become more confident, and it shines through whatever that you're doing. And ultimately, it's going to move you closer to achieving that goal. You become what you practice. The more you do something, the more you become it. If you were to visualize a confident version of you, what would they look like? Let's say when you visualize this confident version of you, that version of you wears very specific kinds of clothing, and they take really good care of their hair and their skin and their body. When they go out and socialize, they're really good at conversations. They have really good eye contact. They're so sure in their words, and they advocate so well for themselves. That version of you that is confident can easily become who you are now with practice. You're not going to wake up one day just feeling ready to become that person. You need to practice being that person. You need to show up as that person. You need to push yourself towards being that person. Wear the clothes that the confident version of you would be wearing, no matter how ridiculous you feel, no matter how uncomfortable you feel, no matter how much you think people are making fun of you, because the more that you wear those clothes, the more they become your everyday wear. It becomes your norm. Eventually, you will become confident wearing those clothes. Eventually, you will become that confident version of you who just wears these clothes for shits and giggles. That's like their everyday wear. This episode is sponsored by Ollie. I have 2 dogs, Izzy and Sebi, and Sebi turned 7 this year. And with him getting older, I'm definitely more aware of the food I'm feeding both of them. I want to feed them cleaner and more nutritious meals, which is why I decided to try out Ollie. Ollie is a clean dog food delivery service made in U.S. kitchens with highest quality human-grade ingredients, offered in 5 protein-packed recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes or fresh turkey with blueberries. The reason I wanted to switch to cleaner food for Izzy and Sebi is because healthier food means a healthier pup, more energy, shinier coats, healthier poop, and it can even help your dog reach a healthy weight. Ollie's super easy to get started. You just fill out a 30-second quiz and they create a customized meal plan based off your dog's weight, activity level, and other health info. Ollie offers 3 meal plans to choose from, so you can either get a full fresh plan, a fresh topper plan, or a mixed plan with freshly baked recipes. They also have treats and supplements, which is perfect for my dogs because they're definitely food motivated, so whenever we train them, we make sure to have some type of treat. Dogs deserve the best, and that means fresh, healthy food. Head to ollie.com/TNTC, tell them all about your dog, and use code TNTC to get 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a happiness guarantee on the first box, so if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/TNTC and enter code TNTC to get 60% off your first box. Figure out what that confident, higher version of you looks like and push yourself to dress like them, talk like them, and make choices like them now. If your higher version of you is a rich CEO, they're not going to bat an eye at a $3 coffee. If your higher version self is a lawyer, they're not going to miss class. They're not going to not do their homework. If your higher self prioritizes their 6 a.m. morning routine, they're not hitting snooze when the alarm goes off in the morning. Number 2, keep promises to yourself. Do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to wake up at 6 a.m., get up when your alarm goes off. If you say you're going to cut back on screen time, set boundaries and don't be scrolling on TikTok for 4 hours. Self-trust is the foundation for self-confidence because you're not only proving to yourself that you're capable of doing these things, but also that you're absolutely going to follow through with doing it. Think about someone who constantly lets you down and breaks their promises to you. Think about that friend who constantly cancels plans with you. Eventually, you lose trust in them. You're not confident that they're going to follow through and hang out with you when they say they're going to hang out with you. You can't rely on them and you're not confident in them because they've proven to you otherwise. It's the same thing with yourself. It's hard to believe in your capabilities if you're not showing up for yourself. Every time that you ignore a goal of yours or you break a promise to yourself, you're telling yourself, I'm not worth showing up for. Isn't it aggravating when you ask your significant other to do the dishes and they don't do them? Or you ask your significant other to get you flowers, you remind them constantly, I want flowers, and they don't get you flowers. It makes you feel like they don't care. It makes you feel like they have other more important things to tend to than you. You feel like they're actively choosing to disregard you. And obviously that's not always the case. Sometimes things just slip our minds, but that's how it can feel. Don't be another person that makes you feel that way. Don't let even a smidge of self-doubt creep in. Show up for the commitments you make to yourself. Even the small ones like your morning routine. Wake up when your alarm goes off. Morning affirmations. Do the dishes. Go to the gym. Do your homework. Just the little things. Prove to yourself that you're capable of following through on these things. When you do this, you're reminding yourself that no matter what task I'm given, I'm capable. I can do anything that I set my mind to. So next time someone asks you to do something, even if you've never done it, you know that you are capable and you can follow through with it. Number 3, learn to be okay with being uncomfortable. Confidence doesn't mean not being afraid or not being uncomfortable. Like I was just saying, you practice what you become. The practicing stage is still new. The nerves are still there. If you're not used to making direct eye contact in conversations, when you first start doing it, you're gonna want to look away because it doesn't feel good. If you're not used to walking into a party alone, the first few times when you try it, you're gonna wanna hide because it doesn't feel good. If you're not used to wearing certain clothes, the first few times when you put them on, you're not gonna wanna wear them out because it doesn't feel good. But just because it doesn't feel good doesn't mean that you don't go through with it. Because eventually it will feel good and eventually you will feel confident doing those things. Confident people are capable of doing uncomfortable things because they know that the outcome is more important than the nerves. The idea of eventually being able to do these things effortlessly, unbothered, so confidently is so worth the anxiety that they're feeling right now. Confident people do uncomfortable things because they know the discomfort they're feeling right now is proof that they're growing. Number 4, know your shit. When you know what you're talking about, when you've done your research, when you can stand on something 10 toes down, that's when confidence comes out. You're not second guessing yourself. You're not changing your mind to fit someone else's narrative. You know it's facts. You believe it. You believe in it. This episode is sponsored by Headspace. Don't you hate when you're having a bad day or you're on the verge of tears and someone asks if you're okay and you're obviously not okay, but you have to say you're okay because you don't want to get into it? Well, same. But I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to actually mean it when I say I'm okay, and that's why I'm using Headspace. Headspace is the app that helps me and 100 million people with their mental health and well-being with guided meditations, mindfulness practices, breathing and calming exercises, and so much more. Headspace combines scientifically proven benefits of meditation and mindfulness with modern practices, and you learn from experienced meditation teachers. The app has customized, personalized approaches to help you navigate through all of life's moments, big and small. I used to struggle so much at work, and I would run off to the bathroom to cry when I was overwhelmed or I was struggling with my mental health, and I wish I had Headspace because instead of crying in the bathroom, I could have gone and pulled out my phone and used Headspace. They have these quick on-the-go programs that help you get in the right headspace in just a few minutes, and a 1 to 3 minute breathing exercise definitely would have helped me out and helped me get through the day. Feel good and mean it when you say it. For a limited time, get Headspace free for 60 days. Go to headspace.com/tryingnottocare. That's HEADSPACE.com/tryingnottocare to unlock all of Headspace free for 60 days. Headspace.com/tryingnottocare. That's why I struggled with presentations in school, because I didn't care enough to do extensive research. I'd be doing these projects and I'd be standing in front of a class reading off a PowerPoint, and I had no idea what I was talking about because I didn't know. I didn't know my shit. So I knew that if someone had asked me a question, I'd be like, I have no idea. Why are you asking me? Like, I know I just did a project on this thing, but like, no clue because I didn't know the facts. So I was insecure and I was anxious. Whereas now I can sit here and record 20 to 40 minute episodes every single Monday and not care what people are going to say. Or if someone asks me a question, I know I can answer it because I know my shit. I have experience and I know what I'm talking about. Or I can do an interview and I can talk for an hour about a topic and I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not scared to state my opinion. I'm not scared to have pushback because I know what I'm talking about. Know your shit the same way that you know objective things like your eye color, your hair color. If someone were to come up to you and be like, you have blue eyes and you have brown eyes, you're not going to be like, yeah, you're right. I think I do have blue eyes. No, you know you have brown eyes. It's a fact. I have brown eyes. Check my birth certificate. Check my license. Like, I have brown eyes. You're not going to fold and be like, you know what? I think you're right. I think people had it wrong. I have blue eyes. You're going to stand on the facts. I know I have brown eyes. That also applies to the belief that you have within yourself. Know yourself. Take the time to learn about you and work on you. Work on your insecurities. Work on your self-limiting beliefs. Just learn who you are. That way, if someone does try to cross you or make you feel small, they can't, because you know you. It's pretty damn hard for someone to put you down about something that you don't believe. If someone says to you, I think you're ugly, you're not going to crumble if you know for a fact that you're beautiful. If someone questions your intelligence, you're not going to let them affect how you view yourself because you know how smart you are. Be the same way that you would be if someone questioned your hair color or your eye color. Unbothered, unmoved. You don't care because you know who you are. You're not going to change the way you view yourself just because of what someone else thinks of you. Going off that, number 5, you need to learn to be okay with people not liking you. No one really knows you. Even your closest friends and family don't know you the way that you know you. With that being said, your worth isn't up for debate by anyone but you. You can't let people who only see a small portion of you, a small portion that you decided to let them see, tell you who you are. When you pay so much attention to what other people think about you, what they're saying about you, you end up living for them. You end up doing everything different for them. You end up rearranging your entire being to please them, and you end up not being authentic to yourself. When you do that, you get closer to potentially pleasing them. You might not even please them. You get closer to maybe pleasing them, but farther away from pleasing yourself. You essentially lose yourself in hopes of other people seeing you in a better light. When I first started posting on TikTok, specifically when I was posting dancing videos, people made fun of me. I heard people making fun of me behind my back. People made fun of me to my face. And I know for a fact that I could have avoided being made fun of if I didn't post those kinds of videos, or if I just stopped posting altogether. And the thing is, if I did that, sure, I might have pleased those people, but I would have been doing a disservice to myself in not doing what I wanted to do. You know, I might have had a couple people making fun of me, and I might have repelled a couple people by posting the content that I did. But by doing what I wanted to do, continuing to post those videos and ignoring the opinions of people who didn't like that, I ended up attracting the right type of people and the right audience. People who didn't think what I was doing was cringy, and people who wanted to see more of it. Imagine if I only listened to the people who told me that what I was doing was cringy, and I just took their opinion as fact. You don't need to be everyone's cup of tea, and the reality is you're never going to be, because everyone has a different opinion. Something that someone loves about you could easily be something that someone else hates about you. With that being said, you can't rely on other people to tell you who you are, what you should be doing. Not caring what others think of you is one of the most freeing things that you can do for yourself. The less approval you seek, the more magnetic you become. All the things that you want become so much easier to achieve because, one, you don't have all of this noise in your ear from other people telling you that you're not deserving or that it's not going to work out. And then two, you're not chasing these things to prove it to anyone else. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it out of love. It's less forced and it's more fun because you're not worried about what others think or how it looks to other people. And then lastly for this guide, number 6, learn to be your biggest fan. Confidence clearly doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, and you need to build a good relationship with yourself. You need to be able to see yourself the way that you see other people that you admire and other people that you root for. In order to do this, you need to think highly of yourself. That means no negative self-talk and no feeding the self-doubt or the self-limiting beliefs. You need to fill your head with stories of how amazing and how capable you are. The reason that you have self-doubt is because you fill your head with memories of times where you messed up or you felt like you weren't good enough, and you take those memories as fact. You need to do the opposite. Instead of thinking, well, this bad thing happened and I felt like I wasn't worthy, so I must not be worthy, think about the times where you succeeded. Think about your strengths. Think about the things that you love about yourself. Think about the future that you want for yourself. Think about all the positive things and take that as fact. Think, I did this amazing thing, so I must be amazing. I really recommend that you practice positive self-talk every single day, whether that's intentional self-affirmations or just when you're talking not the nicest to yourself, that you reframe it and you make it more of a positive. Like, for example, the other night I was laying in bed and before I fell asleep, I was just overthinking and I just wasn't being the nicest to myself. You know how it goes. You know how sometimes at night your mind just doesn't want to shut off. It was one of those nights. And after 2 hours of beating myself up over the fact that I didn't do enough work that day or I wasn't as productive, I was like, okay, this isn't productive. And I had to mentally say to myself, it's okay that you didn't do what you wanted to do today. It's okay that you didn't do X, Y, and Z. You've been sick for a week, and it's okay that you rested. Also, there's nothing that you can do about it now. All you could do is go to bed. So go to bed and try again tomorrow. And that was the reset that I needed. I just needed someone to say to me, like, it's okay. Everything's okay. You're doing okay. Another thing that I did that calmed me down, and I usually do this every single night, is think about 3 things that I did do well that day. I just think it's way more productive to end your day thinking of 3 things that went well or that you enjoyed or that you had fun doing, rather than all of the things that you didn't do the best that day. It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing, it could be something that I tried. Like, let's say that I tried to film a video, but I didn't like how it came out, so I didn't post it. Instead of beating myself up over the fact that I didn't post the video, I can celebrate the fact that I tried. I tried to do it, and I can try tomorrow. So I really recommend celebrating your daily wins. Like I said, it doesn't have to be this big thing. It could be small little wins. It could be like, I woke up early this morning, I went for a walk, I ate 3 meals, whatever it is, whatever matters to you, just celebrate at least 3 of those wins daily. When I do catch myself talking down to me like I was before I fell asleep, I try my best to take a step back and be like, hold up. Would I talk this way to someone that I love? Would I be badgering my fiance for 2 hours about something the way that I just was to myself? Would I go on for 2 hours to my fiance being like, you tried this thing, but you didn't do it well enough, like you're a failure? Would I do that? No. Even after 2 minutes of doing that, I'd be like, okay, I'm being an asshole and I'm making him feel like shit. Why am I doing this? So why am I doing that to myself? I will purposefully put myself down thinking these terrible things about myself in hopes of like changing my behavior. I think if I think these things long enough and I tell myself like, you need to do better, that I will do better. And that's just not what happens. Nothing ever good gets done by someone like badgering you or yelling at you or pointing out all the negative things about you or the things that you've done wrong. So like, why do I think that's going to be any different with myself? I'm more likely to change my behavior and do better if I'm being kind to myself and if I'm being supportive to myself. You need to treat yourself like someone that you love. Be your biggest supporter. Believe that everything's going to work out for you. Believe that you're so capable. Believe that you're so worthy. Want the best for yourself. When there's something that you want for you, push yourself towards it. Root for yourself. Advocate for yourself. And don't give up on yourself. So for a little recap, if you want to be confident, believe it until you achieve it, keep promises to yourself, be okay with being uncomfortable, know your shit, be okay with people not liking you, and be your biggest fan. I suggest trying these out, even just trying out like one of these for a week. Try out not talking badly about yourself for a week and see how you feel at the end of the week. Confidence isn't something that everyone has naturally, especially if you've gone through a certain experience or you've dealt with people who have made you feel less than or have made you question your worth. But confidence is definitely something that you can build time and time again. You can go through moments where you lose your confidence, but as long as you go back through these steps and you work on yourself, you can rebuild that confidence. So let me know if you do any of these steps and if they help you. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and let me know there. Slide in my DMs, or if you're listening on Spotify, you can leave a comment. I love to know your thoughts, good or bad. More so good, but I love to know, so let me know. And if you like today's episode, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to rate on Spotify and Apple, and make sure to share on social media so your friends can hear Try Not to Care and I can see that you're listening and see what you're thinking. As always, thank you for listening to today's episode. I love you, and I will talk to you next Monday. Goodbye. Love you.